Hello, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that colours you like the best and the least reveal the sort of person you really are? That your colour preferences make important statements about your hopes and dreams, your anxieties, your stress levels, and the appropriateness or indeed inappropriateness of your approach to life's opportunities, challenges and setbacks? One man who firmly believed it was possible to make such judgments was the Swiss psychologist Max Lüscher, whom I mentioned in my previous email. Born in Basel in Switzerland in 1923, Max practiced as a psychotherapist and a psychiatrist while completing his dissertation on colour as an aid to psychological diagnosis. In 1947, Lüscher created his first colour diagnosis test. Now today, although some academics have questioned its validity, this test is being widely used in universities and by companies around the world. I met Max, who died in 2017, whilst making a documentary, The Colour Eye, for BBC television. And a short time later, I bought a copy of his book, The Lüscher Colour Test. This I sometimes used when working with clients. If this video arouses your interest in carrying out the Lüscher Colour Test for yourself, you'll find his book, both second-hand and new, widely available on the internet. Before explaining how the test works and offering you a cut-down taster in this video, I'd like to offer a few words of caution. The Lüscher Colour Test is neither a toy nor a party game. Rather, it's a powerful tool which can offer you deep insights into the human psyche. It can help reveal aspects of a person's personality and their approach to life, which can, on some occasions, prove distressing and even hurtful to them. Now, when using it with clients, I was always very careful about the way I phrased the results and to the extent to which I did or did not reveal some of the findings. More typically, I would use the findings which the test revealed to me as the basis for a discussion at a level we both felt was appropriate to their current psychological state and their desires, their goals in coming to therapy in the first place. If you decide to use this test for yourself, I urge you to do so in the company of someone you know intimately and trust completely. The kind of individual perhaps to whom you would happily hand over a loaded gun or a grenade. You should never see this test as a chance for scoring points by embarrassing or trying to do one-upmanship with other people. I'm not exaggerating when I say that the full Lüscher Colour Test is capable of wreaking as much psychological damage to a person as those individuals I mentioned, the rifle and the grenade, are of causing them physical damage. With that caution in mind, let's take a look at the book itself. This is a copy of the Lüscher Colour Test, which was published in 1969 and which I have used on occasions with my clients. Inside this book there are 8 coloured cards, numbered from 0 for grey, 1 for blue, 2 for green, 3 for red, 4 for yellow, 5 for purple, 6 for brown and 7 black. These are used to test the subject's personality and various goals they have in life by asking them to arrange the cards in order of preference, starting with their most liked card and finishing with the one they like the least. In this video, I am only going to use 6 of the cards and give you an abbreviated version of a choice of 2 of them, 2 in combination, the one you like most and the one you like less well. At the conclusion of my previous video on the importance and benefits of having colour in your workplace, I showed you a few of those 8 coloured cards and asked you to choose your first and second favourites. In this video, I will deal with 3 of the many possible combinations, namely red, green and blue as your first choices, followed by each of the remaining cards. In my next video, to be posted in a fortnight's time, I'll discuss the 3 remaining combinations, yellow, green and black, again with all the other cards. Now from these cards, I'd like you to select the card you most like, you like best, followed by the card you don't like quite so much. Don't say you dislike it or hate it, but it's not your favourite colour. So your favourite colour, followed by your second favourite colour. You might, for example, pick red as your favourite colour, followed by blue, or green, or yellow. Now, I'd like you to either remember the colour of your choices or note their numbers, because we'll be using these in the rest of the video. Now, according to Lüscher's theories, and I have to stress what I'm going to give you are very kind of summarized versions of some of his many comments in the book. These 2 choices, your first colour choice and your second colour choice, will reveal aspects of your key life goals. Now, I'm going to go through the various combinations, starting with blue as your first choice and grey as your second choice. That is, in numbers you chose card 1 and card 0. So what do these choices suggest? Well, based on the Lüscher Colour Test, these choices suggest an urgent desire to escape current difficulties and pressures. Current difficulties and pressures you feel are threatening to sometimes overwhelm you. You yearn for serenity and harmony, for peace and quiet, as you believe only then will you be able to achieve happiness and a sense of satisfaction. If you followed blue by green, that is 1 followed by 2, this indicates a search for tranquility and a way to free yourself from the strains and pressures you currently experience as a result of perhaps quarrels and conflicts that are surrounding you at the moment. Now, whilst you're concerned about the implications of reaching this objective, you will continue to progress towards it slowly and carefully, believing this is the only way for you to maintain power over your current circumstances, to maintain control over the life you're living at the moment. Blue followed by red, that's 1 followed by 3, indicates you're seeking a loving, enjoyable and rewarding relationship where you could be yourself and feel most comfortable. You long for an intimacy and love based on reciprocated trust, and you will always put these, as you see them, of the other person above your own needs. If you chose blue followed by yellow, that's 1 followed by 4, you seek a fulfilling relationship where mutual affection, happiness and devotion are the most important factors. You desire to share your life with someone who is as passionate as yourself, who is willing and able to provide the warmth and intimacy you both crave for yourself and long to offer to your partner. Finally, blue followed by black, that's 1 and 7. Now this reveals an overwhelming need to restore your personal equilibrium by calming down and relaxing. To achieve this, you need to find others who will treat you with understanding and tenderness. You find circumstances in which others fail to understand your needs and difficulties very hard to cope with. Now let's move on to the colour green as your first choice, And we'll start by looking at what it says if you followed green, that's number 2 card, by grey, 0, the card marked 0. Now this suggests your desire to make a strong impression on others sometimes conflicts with your belief that you're insufficiently appreciated and acknowledged by those around you, at least some of those around you, the ones important to you. You've made up your mind to take positive action to try and change these beliefs, but have hesitated to do so since you're concerned about how best to proceed and anxious that any move, if poorly handled, could end up making matters worse. This is green as your first choice, followed by blue as your second. On card numbers that would be 2 plus 1. This suggests you seek acknowledgement for what you do and intend to make your mark on the world. You require recognition, acceptance, and like to be favourably thought of because you believe that recognition will validate your sense of self. If and when this recognition and acceptance fails to happen, you sometimes feel personally affronted that the expected credit you think you richly deserved has not been given to you. What about green, card number 2, followed by red, card number 3? This indicates a desire to be successful and not to let things get in the way of your path to success. You like to be unburdened by the interference of others, and you prefer to achieve your goals single-handedly, and your determination is distinct in its solid focus on your goals. You go through life aiming to achieve goals. Your enterprise in this matter is very resolute, and it may occasionally lead to you disregarding both the hostility and the concern this arouses in others. Green followed by yellow, that's card 2 followed by card 4. This indicates you have a strong desire to be seen as inspiring, to be recognised and praised for the work you do and the kind of person you are. Your ambition drives you to desire it to impress everyone around you. However, you feel detached from others in a sense, and you continually search for ways in which you can bring yourself closer to those from whom you feel separated at the moment. Now, green followed by black, that's card 2 followed by card 7. This suggests you find yourself searching for opportunities in which you can show others how resistant you are to the influence of outsiders, that you are greater than those that have around you that you feel have flaws or failings. This often results in your actions appearing, if not intentionally, somewhat brutal and callous, and your approach may sometimes be seen as high-handed. Red followed by grey, that's 3 followed by 0. This means you thrive on being involved in exclusive or unusual experiences. You tend to pay little attention to any impediments and hindrances that cross your way in pursuit of this desire. You do this in an attempt to lessen the power of your conflicts, but as a result you find yourself taking risks that may occasionally put you and your actions in jeopardy. So what about red followed by blue? That's card 3 followed by card 1. Well, this would suggest you're constantly worrying about going through life without finding emotionally and sexually fulfilling relationships. You yearn for a life overflowing with excitement and experiences and events which would give you the chance to escape what you sometimes see as the monotony of your current lifestyle and of your currently suppressed passions. Red followed by green, that's card 3 followed by card 2. You single-mindedly pursue life goals and seldom allow yourself to be distracted from these chosen targets. The recognition that you receive from achieving your aims inspires you to continue to triumph over any and all the difficulties you find along the way in your pursuit of personal success. What about red as your first choice, followed by yellow as your second? That is card 3 followed by card 4. Well, this indicates you're naturally outgoing and unreserved, that you relish expanding upon your already vast range of hobbies and your concerns by discovering new things in life, new experiences, new adventures, novelty. You very much dislike being held back by the negativity as you see it of others, and as I say, you're constantly seeking out exciting new experiences. You embrace all that is contemporary and different and see the future generally in a cheerful and positive light. The cup for you is always more half full rather than half empty. Now, what about your choice of red as the first colour followed by black? That's card 3 followed by card 7. This suggests your life is filled with zeal and passion, that you're constantly striving to rid yourself of the things that you consider to be a burden to you, or in some ways to emotionally smother you. You try and experience everything you can in life and make up for what you feel you may have missed in the past by catching up in the future. Now, I have to stress that the analysis which I've given you above are expressed in my own words, not the words of Max Lüscher. For these and a much deeper analysis, you will need to find a copy of his book on the Colour-Diagnostic test. That's the Lüscher Colour Test. I've greatly abbreviated these findings from the original, which run into many hundreds of words, because in this short video I'm only able to offer you a brief outline of the multitude of insights about your true personality, your hopes, your desires, and your dreams, all of which, Lüscher would argue, and many of his followers would agree, are revealed by his fascinating and complex test.